today we talk about a celestial, which is typically a term we use in conjunction with a spiritual body or a being. And in terms of a body, we would substitute a term like heavenly. And celestial is a term that I like to call a bridge term between belief systems. Because while it may be very difficult to talk or to explain the motivations of a netter in reference to someone whose faith is built on angels, we can understand the idea of a being from heaven, or at least not of this world. And in biblical Hellenistic Roman culture, the terrestrial world was clearly defined. This was the world of humans, and this world was limited by the factors of time and space and cause and effect and physics in a lot of ways. But the celestial realm itself was typically composed of levels of more spiritual spheres and a higher level of enlightenment. While the subterrestrial world, the hells, were areas of chaos and the spirits of darkness, or in most terms, unenlightenment. And at the highest level of the celestial sphere are the ultimate in the sacred, right? This is where you would reach Yahweh, who is the God of Judaism, whose name is so holy that it should not even be spoken. Bythos, who is the unknowable beginnings of Gnosticism, or the Heavenly Father of Christian or Abrahamic beliefs. And in the West, we typically define celestial as an adjective meaning positioned in or relating to the sky, or in outer space as observed through astronomy. A celestial body has synonyms typically we would regard as being heavenly or astronomical, extraterrestrial, stellar, planetary, or even superterrestrial, but definitively belonging to or relating to the heavens. And there are references to things such as heavenly cities. But in terms of a being or an entity, we would typically call them, again, heavenly, but probably holy or saintly and divine, godly, godlike, or ethereal, paradisical, Elysian, spiritual, immortal, angelic, seraphic, chuberic, blessed, or sublime. And these are the supremely good. In Hindu beliefs, by their Buddhist scriptures, they give great details about many celestial beings, or beings not of earth, that have come to earth. And there is the Akasada Devas, who reside in the sky, the Bhumanta Devas, who were devas who resided in the earth and had a close connection with other earth spirits. The Rukai Deva were devas who resided in the trees, while the Pabatha Devas were devas who resided in the hillsides or rocks. The Vimana were devas who resided in places who were created by their own divinities or holiness, or their inclination to a specific aspect of the world or creation. Whereas the Vana Devas were devas who resided in the forest. In Abrahamic beliefs, an angel is a celestial being who acts as an intermediary between the heaven and earth, often communicating messages. And angelic beings, although there are stories of fallen angels, were typically benevolent in nature and considered to manifest all the qualities of goodness and purity and selfishness. But also there were the elders who were an older, maybe more powerful class of celestials mentioned by Paul the Apostle. And they were seen as living symbols of God's justice, and ultimately were often the enforcers of his authority. And they were seen as symbols of the throne itself. Now, there were also the netters who brought teachings to the early settlers of the Nile River Valley civilizations. And these beings themselves were sourced to being from the Sirius star system, or the Dog Star. And they were represented by the Enid, which included Asar, Aset, Hathor, Heru, Set, Nephthys, Atum-Ra, Geb, and Nut. And still Pleiadian mythologies tell us about other creatures who came from an extraterrestrial source themselves, this being the Pleiades star system, for which they are named. And the home stars of some of these celestial beings are most often celestial bodies held in sacred regard to Earth, whether they are planetary bodies or star systems or stars themselves. For instance, the Sirius star system was sacred not only to the ancient people of North and Sub-Saharan Africa, but later the Greeks, the Romans, and the Freemasons, and countless other groups would identify a sacredness or a teaching that came from the star. And these were sacred to the people of the Kemetic belief system. In Germanic beliefs, their gods originated from the Taurus star system, which is home to 4 very important stars outside of this belief: Aldebaran, Regulus, Antares, and Fomalhaut. Now, Asagar or Asgard is considered to be the solar home of the Aesir, the gods of their beliefs, while Aldebaran was marked with the vernal equinox, and in that mythology held a position as the Watcher of the East, a protected position, while Regulus was marked as the summer solstice and the Watcher of the South. Antares marked the autumn equinox, was the Watcher of the West, and Fomalhaut was marked or associated with the winter solstice, and was marked as the Watcher of the North. And the influence of celestial bodies is massive on this terrestrial plane and influences a lot of our thought. But the common belief of in us, of this place, is a thread that may be key to understanding the human connections, be it among ourselves or through our belief systems and religions. We will explore this more, but always I thank you for stopping in at Nine World Chronicles and taking the time to listen to us. Please be sure to watch some of our other videos, and as always, we ask that you like and subscribe.